Welcome back to another Greg Dennis review. This week I've got the Ford Ranger Raptor. Now the Ford Ranger Raptor, think about a standard Ford Ranger, think about a 6-pack of Red Bull. Put them together and this is what you got, except it makes a whole bunch more noise than that. So stay tuned, this is going to be an awesome one. Okay, so the Ford Ranger Raptor. Now I'm going to be changing things up slightly for this review. Well, completely, because I'm going to start off with the verdict in the form of the GDR test, because I want to tell you exactly how I feel and then show you why. So, should you get it, drive it, or remove it from the list of cars that you're looking at? Now, I'm going to get it out the way quickly. You should go ahead and get this car. Now, this is exactly why. Because up front, you've got a twin turbocharged 3-liter V6 petrol engine, putting out 292 kilowatts and 583 newton meters of torque from a Bakkie. Yeah, this is not your standard Bakkie. This is probably the fastest Bakkie in South Africa right now. Now, some hybrids aside that claim to be the most powerful, road going, how it feels, in my opinion, this is the fastest Bakkie you can get. It's on another level. Now, Raptor means something. Raptor means performance. Raptor means presence. Raptor means speed. Raptor means sound. And this has got all of that. Now, I've spoken about the performance up front, but all of this Raptorness is just wrapped in Raptor, because from the outside, it's distinctly a Raptor, right? You've got obviously the Raptor branding. You've got Raptor elements now which come only bespoke to this car, not on your standard Rangers, because the grille's different. You've got the Ford wording up on the front there to make this car stand out even more. It looks aggressive. It's in line with the bigger trucks that you get overseas, and I love that they've used this in these vehicles here. But you've got the wider arches. You've got the extra bits and grills around the car. It's obviously lifted because you've got the Fox suspension, which I'll chat about just now. You've got the big all-terrain tires, and then obviously the twin pipes at the back that make the most glorious sound. But before we get into the sound, here on the inside, the Raptorness continues, because you've got red accents all over, you've got leather, you've got Alcantara suede in the seats on the dash. It's a very good place to be, and not only is it sporty, but it's ultra comfortable as well. I just have to keep reminding myself that I'm driving a Bakkie, although it feels like I'm driving a performance SUV. It's just a strange thing to wrap my head around. The vents have got accents of red. The steering wheel has got this red center line in the middle here, so that you can always know where center is, because when you're going wild with this car, wherever, you can always know where center is, which is quite cool. Yeah, so the red accents carry through. You've got different types of materials and textures. And the seats, not only are they comfortable, but they're sporty and supportive at the same time. They've got also the red accents, the red stitching, this suede Alcantara type material. Just, it doesn't stop, and just everything about this car, of this Raptorness, is what makes this car so unique and special. These seats have got Raptor branding in them. They're Raptor bucket seats, as you can see over there, which I'll probably show you as well. But they're really great, and you can also get into a really nice, comfortable driving position. The seats are also electronically adjustable, which is a good thing. Unfortunately, they don't have seat memory that I've been able to find. So unless it is somewhere in the settings, I haven't seen it, but it's not really readily available for someone to save here, which is a bit of an unfortunate thing. But that aside, everything else about this car is great. Now, speaking about the sound, because without the sound, you wouldn't really have Raptor. The first generation Raptor kind of missed the mark, in my opinion, with it being that diesel engine and not really what Raptor's about.
And it would be rude not to give you a cold start.
Now, with it being so quiet inside here, you'd never say that I was driving a Raptor. That's because I've currently got it in comfort mode, so the valves on the exhaust are currently closed, making it a quiet and very bearable environment inside here, which is great for a daily drive. It's absolutely perfect. Now, I say daily drive because this can be, and thanks to the suspension setup, the Fox suspension, which is bespoke to this car, it can also be very soft and very comfortable. Now I'm driving on one of my normal roads that I do in my reviews, and normally in a Hilux or any other Bakkie, it's as bumpy as all things. Like it's not a comfortable place to be. You bounce around and your back is not very happy. But here in the Raptor, the suspension absorbs everything. It keeps it very SUV-like, but at the same time, when going into sports and Baja mode, it adapts and it changes things slightly. So off-road now, you're able to get all the suspension travel that you need and all of the comfort and support when you're sending this thing over dunes and over rocks and through water and all of that. It's going to absorb and adjust and keep the car as composed as possible, but also having as much fun as you can, because it can do all of those crazy things. And the great thing about Raptor is that you can adjust things as you want to, easily, whenever you want to, because you've got the settings that you require on your steering wheel. So you can click these buttons and things just happen as you need to. So you've got buttons for your exhaust where you can change it from quiet to normal to sport and Baja. You've got button here to adjust your suspension dampening, so you can go from normal to sport to off-road as well. And then there's even one for your steering wheel. Again, normal, comfort and sport. You can set it up exactly how you want this car to drive. But if you're wanting the car in its most aggressive setting that you've set it up to, you can quickly save it to the R or Raptor button on the steering wheel, and very quickly the car will adjust itself and give you that setting when you need it, which is quite cool, because it's better than having to dig through systems and change things on the fly. Quickly just press the button and it's there when you need it. And then there's the exhausts. So as I said, I'm currently driving in comfort, so things are quiet, they're bearable and livable. But once I go into the most aggressive setting that I've set up for myself with the R button, things start to get louder. And by putting it into manual, I can now control the 10-speed automatic transmission, drop gears, and wake up the neighborhood, because there's no better way to wake up than to an awesome sounding car, and this 3-liter V6 definitely delivers on that for sure. Drop gears. It's so much fun and it's so addictive. You could do it all the time, but you probably wouldn't want to, because you're going to run out of fuel very quickly. This engine is very thirsty. Now Ford does claim 11.5 liters per 100, which is already quite a high number, but realistically you're not really ever going to get that. I've been driving quite composedly and testing out how this car can perform with its fuel, and I'm currently getting 17.5 for a good number. But once I've been hammering it a bit and really feeling what this Raptor has to offer, I can easily sit around the 22s, 23s, 24 liters per 100 Ks. So you're looking at maybe around 400 to 450 Ks off of a full tank if you drive this car nicely. So just bear that in mind if you're looking to get yourself a Ranger Raptor. But if you've got it, you can have all the fun that you want. Okay, now it's time to look at the outside of the Ford Ranger Raptor. Now this thing is just aggression and aggressiveness all over. From these super wide arches to even this new different grille that says Ford on it. It doesn't just have the Ford logo, it's just Ford in general, and this just screams Raptor. If you see this, you know exactly what it is. Underneath here, you've also got metal protection, because this is an off-road car. This is what it's been built to do. You've got the C-clamp LED headlamps. Obviously, that comes with the new generation of Ford Ranger. Absolutely love that. And then some other cool markings to also tell it apart is you've got these vents. Now, I'm not sure if that vent actually works, but I think it looks cool. And you've also got here on the top of the bonnet. And again, I don't know if it does anything, but it looks damn cool when you're driving and you can see these two little vents on top of the bonnet. I think it's cool. And then coming down the side here, you've got a metal side step, which is also great. And obviously this car is fitted with proper all-terrain performance tires, because that's what they are. They're built to go everywhere. Now, if we make our way around the back here, you can see this Raptor has actually been fitted with a roller shutter, which you can actually open with the key. So I know it's got the little picture on it to open up the boot, but you click that and this rolls open and closes every time you need it. Obviously it says it's Raptor, and you've got those two twin exhausts out the back here. This is my favorite angle of this car. I love it They make a whole bunch of noise, and they just give this car that character that a Raptor needs. But another cool thing about a Ford Ranger is that when you open up the bonnet, when you open up the tailgate, here you can actually see you've got little holes or little gaps. Now this is actually for someone to put a clamp in and hold down something. So if you're using your tailgate to do any work or to build or to do anything like that on a work site, you can put it down here, you can clamp it down, and then you can start to cut things off if you want to. I mean, if that's what you're doing with the Raptor, then you know you can do what you want with your 1.2 million rand. But if you take a quick look on the inside here, what's cool about this new generation of Ford Rangers is that they've actually got plug points. So you've got power at the back of your tailgate in case you wanted to do anything, whether that's for your power tools or for going camping, for air compressors and anything like that. They've thought about everything. This thing is so cool. Okay, now I'm going to quickly put it back into normal so it can shift by itself. Go back into normal so things quiet down. Put the exhaust in its most quiet setting, which is quiet. And then talk to you about pricing. So this Ford Ranger Raptor sells from 1.2 million rand. There's only one you can buy, there's only one specification, and this is it. And it comes feature packed. So when you think about pricing, I think that this is a very good price point for this car. People throw around the million rand price point for almost anything these days, but I think that this definitely delivers and is definitely a good value for what you're spending. So not only are you getting the big engine, the looks, the aggressiveness and the sound, but you're also getting some really cool tech inside here. So in front of the driver, you're getting a digital driver's display, and depending on the drive mode that you're in, the theme will change accordingly in terms of the colors. So that changes things up slightly. You can't really change the layout, but I like that things do change here. And you can also check your oil pressure, your temperatures, the engine heating, as well as the fuel gauge, which moves very quickly, but you've got a display of quite a whole bunch of things here that you can look at. Then there's also the huge tablet display here in the center, which is nice and is very aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't look out of place, but you are able to also look at all your car settings. You can also look through the 360 camera system, which is also great, which I'll speak to just now. But what I do like, which is something I don't normally like, is that it has integrated the climate control into the display, but it's dedicated a section of the display for that climate control. So it's always there when you need it. You don't have to go and find it. It's there all the time, but they've also given you separate physical buttons for the features and functions that you would need all the time. So you can adjust the fan speed with the buttons. You can adjust the aircon temperature with the dials. You've got volume dials. You've got everything you need from a dial and physical button point of view to enjoy your drive from a daily point of view. Without having to dig through this infotainment for those sorts of things, which is very good. So well done, Ford. But other than that, you've got wireless phone charging, you've got nice storage, you've got a dedicated spot here for your fries because they're America and they're obsessed with fries, and now you've got that. You've also got quite a bit of storage inside here. You've got a decently sized glove box. You've also got a secret one on top. So if you open that up, you've got storage on the top of the dash too. The bins are also decently sized. They're actually quite big for some big water bottles, which is nice. And then working your way down, you've obviously then got the 10-speed automatic shifter. You've got space for 2 drinks and the rotary dial here for your different drive modes. And because you are in a very comfortable driving position, that's thanks to you being able to also rest your arms nicely and comfortably. So there's more than enough padding on the sides, on the door here, as well as in the center armrest, that when you open it up, you've got a whole bunch of storage too, and space to charge your devices as well. And then adding on to the value for money aspect, this is a very smart but safe car at the same time. So I say smart because it's got those smart safety bits and pieces in here. So you've got the forward collision warning, you've got the rear cross traffic alert, you've got the adaptive cruise control, you've got the 360 cameras to always see around your car, and you've also got the lane keep assist, which is nice for on the highways. It just keeps you centered and keeps you safe. So those are great things to have in a car like this, and especially at that price point. Okay, it's time to have fun with the exhausts again, but I'll give you a little bit more audio here. Back into R mode, manual, drop some gears, and then I'll go to a red robot. Sorry about that. The other cool thing is that you can hear these turbos whistling and whooshing all the time. It's such an awesome aural experience in here. This must be so intimidating, seeing this big Ford Raptor grille coming towards you with the sounds. Oh, I could do this all day if it wasn't for that fuel. Damn. And then speaking about the 360 cameras in a little bit more detail, what I did figure out is that you've actually got two different views out the back. So once you do look out the back, you've obviously got the view that you can see behind you, but you've also got a view from straight down at the back. So you can almost look from the tailgate straight over and on top of your tow bar, which I think is also a great view, and it just gives you different options and the visibility that you need when going off-road. You can literally see everywhere, which is awesome because you don't want to have everything at your disposal to go there, but then you battle from a visibility point of view. But this Raptor's got everything covered. And even in comfort mode, you put your foot down and this thing hauls ass. Oh my gosh. It's just that it's a little bit quieter and it's not as responsive and it doesn't hold the gears as much in sport and like Baja. But other than that, this thing is just always performing and always delivering no matter what. Do you think they'll let me keep this? And then onto the storage in the rear. Now, Bakkies are not normally known for having the most amount of space in the rear, especially for double cabs. But what I can say is that the space is actually okay. Now, my legs are a little bit close to the driver's seat, and this is in my driving position, and I'm 1.87 meters tall. So space could be a bit better. The headroom is okay, it's actually perfect. Not bad for space in the rear for a double cab like this. I don't think you can ask for more, actually. Now, if you're in the market for a Ford Ranger, for a Raptor, or anything like that, then go check one out on changecars.co.za. They're a website that sells new and used cars, but the best thing about them is that they vet and check every single dealership that sells cars on their website, so they know exactly who they are and what they're selling, always keeping them in control of the quality of cars that their customers are getting. Their website is also a hub for everything automotive, so you can go and watch car reviews, you can read articles, you can even do financial things on there, as well as bringing them quotes from dealerships that aren't on Change Cars, and not only will they match the quote, but they'll beat it too. So go check out changecars.co.za. They're also a proud partner of Greg Dennis Reviews. So as you know, the GDR test said go and get this, so without further ado, I'll let you go and get this. So that's everything that makes me want to tell you guys to go and get this Ford Ranger Raptor. It's incredible value for money. You're getting such an awesome performance car that's a Bakkie. You're getting sports SUV suspension and feeling out of this. You're getting incredibly awesome sounds. You're getting awesome build quality, great materials, a sporty interior. Everything is considered, and I think that all of this equals to that price point, which I think is very, very good. So thank you so much for watching another Greg Dennis review. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the Ford Ranger Raptor. I know I did, because I can't stop thinking about it. So thanks for watching, and if you did enjoy this, please really drop a like below, and if you want to see more videos like this and other car related content, then please subscribe. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.